up, witches? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get us a little message out this morning. Ooh, coming out right away. Our love is like the wind. I can't see it, but I can feel it. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I am kind to everyone. But if you are unkind to me, weakness is not going to be what you remember. Patience is bitter. Oh, the fruit, sweet. You're like, what I get, I'm just getting the sense of what I didn't have to curse you. No one ought to hex you. Witches, most mature witches, most witches around the world. There's like this, really the dark witches are an outer band. They're an outer band in an echo chamber of shit witches that are just ratchet ass nasty hoes that think that they can manipulate the free will of others. Most of us normal witches that actually went through any type of Wicca or priestess training, know better than to hex people. What people who deserve karma will get their karma. And it is way more, and I don't know how to explain this to somebody who's into hexing, because you feel like because you hex somebody that you get that relief from it. You don't, because that's going to come back on you in some way or form. Anytime I've known anybody to do a hex, that shit comes back. Threefold comes back. Even if you do it for somebody else, if you can hex somebody to try to help somebody else, and whatever happens to that person ends up having a domino effect that affects your person that you were trying to help. Always. Always, 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 always. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So, if you don't react, then whatever they've done will come back on them all by themselves. It may take longer. Patience is bitter. And you might be bitter while you're waiting for it to happen. But the fruit, fruit is sweet. When they finally fall, and it's all because of them, and you can sit there with your heart as light as a feather and watch them just crumble their own fucking worlds to pieces, being the piece of shit that they are. I'm too involved now. You jump, I jump. Remember, I can't turn away without knowing you're going to be alright. As above, so below. As within, so without. You have everything it takes, more than everything it takes, and you're really stupid for not knowing that. Alright, this deck usually comes out for no contact people. This is definitely an energy of no contacts. Someone still believes in someone. Someone's still watching someone from the sideline. Like, you have everything it takes. You have everything it takes, and you're really stupid for not doing that. You're really stupid for not making moves now that will actually affect your life in 5 years, right? Because ask yourself, in 5 years, will any of this even matter? It's like, what? If what you're dealing with today isn't going to affect you in 5 years, then why are you letting it steal today from you? You know what I'm saying? And if it is going to affect you in 5 years, do you want to keep having this same problem with this same person, this same exact situation in 5 years? This is the shit that crumbles relationships. This is what crumbles friendships. This is what crumbles everything. When you have the same person has the same problem year after year after year, and you're letting them destroy your life with their fucking issues over and over again, you gotta ask yourself, in 5 years, do you want to have this same argument again with this same person? Is there any way around this? I'm thirsty anyway. Bring on the rain. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great. There's no crying in baseball. I always put that from the League of Their Own. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. And I get the kind of message there. It's making me think of my daughter's last volleyball game the other day. They lost. They weren't a very good team. But they're mostly girls doing their first year, and the rest of the team had been there. You know, the 4 main girls had been there, you know, for a couple of years. So they had to try out for volleyball to get onto the volleyball team. They had to actually try out, and they had to actually try and play, move up from JV to varsity, right? So it reminds me of like when I was in high school, the big thing, or it was probably middle school, the big thing was kick line, like the Rockettes. Yeah, we did that. We had cheerleaders, and we had that. We had a lot of kids in my old school. We had graduating classes in the thousands. But the year that my sister tried out for kick line, she didn't make the squad, right? She didn't make the squad because hundreds and hundreds of girls tried out, and only 50 girls get the spot. When it was my turn and I was in middle school, I decided I was going to try out for kick line as well. Well, I tried out, but only like 45 girls tried out that year because so many had tried out the years before and been cut that a lot of people just didn't bother showing up to the tryouts. Well, needless to say, I ended up getting kicked off the team for missing too many practices because I didn't take it seriously. Why? Because it was just handed to me. So whereas the teams where the girls had to try out and had to actually work to get the spot, they tried much harder and they took it much more seriously. Whereas someone who was just handed something, they didn't have to try for it. So, you know, what did I say? What did I say? We're dealing with shit witches here. Someone has definitely got the energy of revenge around them. If you're feeling the energy of revenge, do not let that overcome you. If someone is casting on you, there's an energy of don't let it bother you. We got the meta of vulnerability here. And it's an energy of like, don't be afraid to still be vulnerable. Right? It's something about that. It's like, that's what this shit witch wants, right? Whoever this bitter bitch is that's on the outskirts here that wants you to suffer, it's your vulnerability and your openness and your genuineness. I am kind to everyone. That makes people love you. And that is exactly what they're trying to stomp out of you. And if you continue to allow these people to cause you to close up and lock in and fucking store all that shit in and not share your light anymore, they win. That's the whole point. They are mad that you're connected to universe, and they are going to try to make chaos to make sure that your life isn't. There's definitely something going on. We got Mercury with the messengers here. We got Capricorn with the devil in the 7 with lies and deception here. There could be some drugs involved in this. Picking up on that with that Capricorn devil energy. Which, I'm not going to, it's going to sound bad, but a lot of these shit witches, a lot of these toxic witches, like, it's one thing when you meet, like, a nice little hippie crystal witch, and they like to go to the beach, and they like to microdose on shrooms for a day, and play their Himalayan singing bowls, and chant, and make a drum circle, and a bonfire, la 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 la. That's one thing. These shit witches, they don't, that's not what they're doing. They're not experimenting with things to get an existential experience and, you know, open their awakened minds and connect with the universe. No, these are just regular fringe drug addicts, because that's what their mind is. That's their mental capacity. And they're mad at you because they're just numbing themselves to the fact that, like, they could be, you know, their excuses for numbing themselves is going to be the victim mentality, you know, because the narcissist is never wrong. All their problems are your fault. You did something to them to make them that way, right? And, yeah, they'll take no responsibility for what they're doing to themselves. It's all your fault, and that's why. And then they're not right in the fucking head. That's all there is to it. They're not right in the head. It's not human nature, right? It's not human nature. Say it again. It is not human nature, right? One of the best articles I ever read was talking about, like, what separated humans from animals, right? And this philosophy teacher was teaching this class. It's like, what separates humans from animals? And it's like, oh, they're like the wheel and this and thumbs and da 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 da. And he's like, no. He goes, the biggest example of when humans switched from living like animals to living like people as humans was the evidence of a repaired femur bone. It was a human who had broken their leg. And now in the animal kingdom at that time, as old as these skeletons were, if you broke your leg, you were dead. You were dead. You couldn't get to the watering hole, you couldn't hunt, you couldn't feed yourself, right? You couldn't feed yourself, you couldn't take care of yourself, which means that this entity, that this person, someone had to have mended their leg, splintered their leg, and taken care of them until their leg was better and they could walk again. And those are some of the first evidence of humanity. Second evidence of what makes someone human, what made humanity different, what made humans different, was prolonged life. Right? It was finding skulls with missing teeth and worn down jawbones, which means they were alive long enough without their teeth that their bone lines receded, right? Once again, in the animal kingdom, when you get old and you lose your teeth, you just slowly starve to death, right? Which means that someone had to have been chewing the food for these people. They were chewing the food for their ancestors, right? They were chewing their food for their elderly and making food so that their elderly could eat it and taking care of them even though they were clearly too old to do the things that the younger members of the tribe were doing. That's human nature. Human nature is not the male's natural instinct to run around everything, and it's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not nature. It's not human nature. Y'all are out of your minds with some of the nonsense that you pull. And I love how it's like, it's pick and choose. You know, people with that naturalist shit, they're just like Bible thumpers, right? They pick out what they want. It's like, oh, God said homosexuality is bad. Well, he also said don't eat shellfish. Pretty sure you're not supposed to be smoking those cigarettes. Are your clothes multi-blend? Like, you're picking and choosing what it is that you want to be true just so you have an excuse to act like a shitty fucking person. Boy, this is a heavy energy this morning. Like I said, we got the 7 in this conflict. It's just, I feel like there's big conflict of interest here, right? I got a feminine who is able to act in a masculine energy, which means we're dealing with a divine feminine here. Divine feminine is able to operate from both energies, and the divine feminines and divine masculines both deal with this, right? And that's kind of the reason that we kind of are the way they are. We have to come in and we find a balance between our energies, right? We're never always hyper feminine, we're never always hyper masculine. We have to find this easy balance within ourselves, right? We definitely have. Right, and I like how she's like sitting on the hookah and chilling, right? She's got this observation point where she's like looking over. I kind of even get like the image of Tinkerbell. I don't know, like Tinkerbell's been coming up a lot lately because the movie's coming out. I got the for me, Tinkerbell is the original old cartoon. So when I'm mentioning that, I'm not like, and I've seen all the other movies. Of course I have. I have a daughter. Her room was Tinkerbell when she was born. But I'm picturing Tinkerbell, and she's in the lantern, listening to Hook's plan. Someone hears it. Someone's kind of seeing it. Whoever this is, they're paying attention, right? This person's a little paranoid here, but they want victory for someone over a joker, and they want to help them escape it. Ooh. Ooh. Now, this could have definitely been a feminine just in her own mind, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting Tinkerbell's like an existential character. We've had arguments about the difference between fairies and angels, right? Fairies are definitely a celestial energy, right, that can guide you, right? So I get this person's, your spirit guides, you could be really attached to the fae. There was some sort of paranoia put to you. Whatever happened, right? Whatever happened is a victory for you. The universe did guide you. Whatever that weird paranoia that you had, whatever it was that caused you to freaking book it out of a situation, was divinely guided. Your spirit guides were watching out for you. That was actually a major victory for you. You don't know it, but that person was a massive joker, right? A massive joker. I don't know if this is important. It could have been someone who's got like a labret piercing. That's specific for somebody. I got labret and I got snake bites, is what I'm picking up. Could have been someone with a labret or with snake bites. I got a serpent tongue. They have a serpent tongue, a forked tongue. I need to go ahead and start making spell videos again. Teach you guys how to do a proper return to sender. I've got justice here, right? Yes, heart center movement. Moving from a heart-based center. I've got this Queen of Wands here, right? I like that wall of fire, the cheetah there with her, holding up her stick. She's just like, nah. No, what? I'm not going to deal with cruelty. Whatever situation that you were in, you were about to be, it was cruel. There was something cruel going on. I'm going to look up the definition of cruel because I feel like I need to like really put an emphasis on what cruelty is. And I always find it better to get the definition on that. I was one of those kids who used to read books and then like highlight the words and go back and look them up to make sure that I understood. I don't wonder why I got such a vocabulary I do. Cruelty, the callous indifference to or pleasure in causing pain and suffering. He treated her with extreme cruelty, behavior that causes pain or suffering to a person or animal. We can't stand cruelty to animals. Law, a behavior which causes physical or mental harm to another, especially a spouse, whether intentionally or not. She divorced my stepfather for his persistent cruelty. The callous indifference to or pleasure in causing pain. So this is what I mean by the definition of cruelty, and that's why I wanted to really put it in there. It wasn't so much that this person could have been outright cruel to you. It was the indifference to your suffering that makes them cruel. Right? You don't have to actually be doing something to somebody to make you a cruel person. Your indifference to somebody's suffering is cruelty. So I'm getting a very big energy on that, right? Someone was just like, this person was cruel, and they didn't like that this person was cruel, and this person could have been cruel and callous and indifferent to them. So separating yourself from that situation so that you could recenter and ground yourself back into your own positive love light energy, right? A stubbornness to hold on to this, right? You're not just going to sit there while the world stomps my light out so that you can wait until I'm fucking broken and then try to manipulate this broken person. That's not how starseeds operate, right? Finding a balance, right? Refinding that balance in the metaphysical and the physical world. I feel like your spirit guides might have had to gone way above and beyond to save you from a situation, because unfortunately, starseeds, we don't. We're empaths, we're heyokas. We cannot idly stand by the suffering of others. It's just not something that we do. Now, there will come points where we do have to act cruel, and we do have to walk away from someone who is willfully destroying their own lives, and we do it for our own salvation and our own center. It's like, what? It's because I cannot sit here and be indifferent as to why I cannot sit here anymore and watch you suffer. Right? It's because I love that I can't watch you suffer and not do anything about your suffering or anything about your issues, right? I get the energy of like assholes, people who won't do anything. Like, they love to bitch about their situations and how bad their situations is, and they hate their job because their job doesn't pay enough, and they hate their baby mama because they do all these terrible things to them, and they hate this person because they do all these things to them. And you're like, well, why don't you go make up a resume? Put out some jobs for some new areas. Oh, I could never do that because I'm so embedded into this job, and if I did that, then it would change all that. Well, why don't you try taking, that person got to court and seeing if you can't. Oh, I can't do that. Every time I go to court, da-da-da-da-da, it never works out. And, well, why don't you try doing this? And you can do whatever, and you can do this. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't fix that. Oh, if I fix that. And it's like, okay. So you want to have all your problems today. You still want to have them in 5 years. Okay. Case in point. My second husband, right? Wouldn't stop fucking eating. He went from 250 pounds when I married him to 350 pounds when I had to make him leave because he was killing himself. Then he got way over that, and it's been 5 fucking years, and guess what? Same exact problems. Still in and out of the hospital, still eating fucking giant fucking cheeseburgers, still drinking full-fledged beers, fucking hanging out at the bar all night. Same problems. They'll have the same problems every day, every week, every month, every year until he dies. And that will be his life. And it's cool because I don't want to watch it. No. Doesn't want to make any changes. There's nothing you can do for people like that. That's their hardwired, netwire programming, and you have to choose to want to change your programming. I have the 9 of Cups on the 5D here, right? Somebody knows what their wish fulfillment is. There is a strong foundation to whatever this wish is. Someone is dead set, heart set, everything is set. What I know, what I want from this universe. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I want. I am divinely guided. This is my purpose. 9 of Swords. Whenever I waver from this purpose, it causes conflict in my life. This is my purpose. This is my calling. I need to do this. The Hierophant here. I like Hoggle because Hoggle, I pick up that energy of that person who, right? Hoggle never leaves the outside. Hoggle never went in the labyrinth. That wasn't his place. He liked to be outside the labyrinth. That was his job. He liked to stay outside the labyrinth and take care of the outdoors, and he just showed people in. That was his whole job, right? And then he got all entangled into that storyline there, right? But I've got this person, and we got the Dancers, which is the Lovers here. We got the Star Guidance, right? We have the 6 of Pentacles. So there's definitely been like this energy of somebody changed something for somebody, right? I get the sense that whatever you've done in this situation, especially with whatever energy that I'm picking up on, that has all these things going on, whatever's the center of this drama here, it's like when you two came together, you led Hoggle into the labyrinth, essentially, right? The path to awakening. You led him into the labyrinth. I feel like they did the same to you. There was something that happened here. This was a necessary thing that went down. It was necessary. I get like 2 pieces of a map that came together. Like it's like whatever awakening journey you both were on. And this is what twin flames, soulmates, soul contracts, karmic contracts, all these contracts are about. What? Why did you have to meet these terrible people? Because these people are showing you something that you need to see. They're teaching you something that you need to know. They're giving you the sword of truth and the shield of Asgard and the fucking whatever it is that you need to beat the next level. Talk about side quests a lot in these spiritual journeys, right? And it's kind of like those games where you get to the end of the game and it tells you the percentage of the game that you played. Now, there's these type of gamers that want to get through the game as quickly as possible. Now, when they hit the end of the game, it'll say, you only paid 25% of the possibilities of this game. You blew through it as fast as you can to beat the game, but you really only played 25%. Right? And then you got the people who want to find all the Easter eggs. They want to find all the side quests. They want to do all these different things, right? And when they're done, when it says they played 80% of the game, right? I get the energy of, like, someone tried to skip past some side quests that ended up being imperative to the game, right? You skipped a bunch of side quests because you didn't feel like doing it, and you bounced all the way up, and now you're at the big boss, and you're fighting this big boss, right? And you keep battling the big boss, and the big boss keeps beating you, and it keeps beating you, and it keeps beating you, and you're like, what the hell? So you finally decide to cheat. You hop on your phone, and you look it up, and you figure out that the reason you can't beat the big boss is because you skipped a side quest in level 3 where you were supposed to do this little side quest that you skipped, but that side quest gave you something that you needed to have to beat the boss. So now you have to go all the way back to the beginning. I pick up that I think it's the hermit in this one, where it's like sometimes to get to where you're going you have to go back to the beginning. So there's definitely an energy of that going on here. There is a childlike energy here. I love this page of Pots because he's like a little kid that's kind of watching everything, and people might not be paying attention to the fact that this kid is very, very observant. There is party goblins all around. I was picking up that drug addict energy. That's why I kept bringing it up, right? These are the party goblins, right? These are the ones, they don't want you to get out of the labyrinth, but they want you to be part of them. They want you to take your head off, right? They want you to just hang around and sing by the fire over here in the forest. They don't want you to get to the center of the labyrinth. They don't want you to awaken. They want you to get stuck in the labyrinth with them, because that is what happened to them. Right? I got a page of junk, right? He is trying to get through this. He is slow. He is struggling. Right? Oh, 2 pages. Oh, yeah. There's definitely, look, 2 pages. This is dangerous here. You got 2 pages, and they're both facing this party goblin. Look at that. Yeah. Someone needs to be really mindful of who's paying attention to them. I get younger people. This could be 2 kids, 2 boys especially, that are watching this energy. It could be 2 females. It's definitely 2 younger people who are watching an older person and they role model them. Be mindful of who's a role model to your children. Like, people don't even understand that. Like, you don't understand how dangerous it is to have your child idolizing a party goblin. Because that's what they're going to end up being if you're not careful. Yeah. There's been a lot of judgments. Right? One of us always tells the truth, and one of us always lies. Right? Get the Queen of Pots who's been watching this, right? The Queen of Pots is the Queen of Cups. She's the loving, nurturing energy of this deck. The Pots are all about food, sharing food, making food, right? She's the kind of one I feel like she's feeding and nurturing and watching these energies. She could be casting these judgments. She could be like, what? I can tell when you're always telling the truth, and I can tell when you're telling lies, right? Sometimes, to get where you're going, you have to go back to the beginning. Doesn't make any sense. Right? You get on me about making my noises. No weird mood this morning. Dude, I slept for 12 hours last night with no help from anything. I love that. It also was a massive thunderstorm. That always helps. I got 3 of Pentacles. There's definitely was a team that was coming together here, but there was a lot of lies. There was a lot of lies. Someone lied about having the potential for making a 10 of Cups, right? There was a massive tower. There was a massive tower. And guess who was the jackass that caused all this? It was a King of Poles who lied about some dumb shit, or was deceptive about some dumb shit, or had some dumb shit going on around him, right? They thought they had this great team. They thought they had this 10 of Cups. They thought they had it all fucking figured out. They thought that they could manipulate these party goblins. They thought that they just had it all together and they could just use everybody they wanted to get away with what they wanted to. And they were going to use their King of Wands, Big D energy. They done watch some videos on how to manipulate these bitches, and they was going to get it done, right? 10 of Swords. Now they have to find battles. 10 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, 3 of Wands. But now they have to face the consequences. They need to find balance. They need to swallow that big old sort of truth that admits that what? You were a shitty person who used triangulation to manipulate people. Point blank period. That's all there fucking is to it. You were a shitty person who used your energies, these little tricks that you found of manipulating and manifesting to manipulate people. You caused triangulation. You tried to pit people against each other. You tried to pit divine feminines against fucking party goblins, and now you wonder why your life is towered in hell. Nobody feels bad for you. Nobody feels bad for you. Nobody feels bad for you. What? Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. What? I'm trying to get out of the labyrinth and I'm leaving all these marks and the goblins keep turning my tablets around and making me lost. No, they ain't making you lost. You're choosing to be lost. You're the one that invited the fucking goblins. 10 of Pentacles. Over money. Over money. You thought they would bring you more money. 8 of Pentacles. You thought that these party goblins were gonna, because they were party goblins, you thought that you would be able to manifest the money out of them. You ain't fucking Crowley. Ooh, High Priestess, Knight of Pots. Yeah, I got this High Priestess, right? She's got that armor and shit on this one, right? I got this. She picked that up. Be like, what? You can't use magic against people who are fucking magic. Right? You can't use magic on people who know magic. Just because you're not saying it's magic, just because you're not admitting what it is that you're doing, doesn't mean that's not what you're fucking doing. Just because we use candles and incense and spells and you use visualizations and fucking whatever earbud meditation shit, it's the same thing. It's just different fucking tools, okay? This person, but this Knight of Pots, I guess somebody fell hard for this High Priestess, but this High Priestess looked at this person's life and was able to evaluate exactly what the fuck they were doing manipulation-wise. Oh, 30 minutes. There is a lot of love in between these two energies, though. There is a lot of love between these two energies. I think that might be, too, that might be what it is, too. Be like, what? I genuinely saw in this person positive King of Poles. I genuinely saw the Knight of Pots. I saw the Knight of Junk. I saw that divine knightly energy. See, divine feminines are the mix of all the queens. Divine masculines really are all the mix of all the knights. And I know that doesn't seem to make much sense, but that's just what it is, right? Yeah, it should be the kings, but the knights are the ones that make movement, okay? But this person genuinely saw the true potential of this person, right? And then we always warn, never fall in love with potential, right? Because it's rarely ever met. But it's like you saw all this in this person. It's like you saw what they were doing and you saw deep down what they really wanted out of life. And it was just like, but then how they acted was so disgusting that you were like, wow, how can you even be happy with yourself for this? And it's like, this person was going through that whole fucked up transformation of they were hurt, they were probably operating out of this type of energy too, because if they've got that around them, then definitely they were operating on those frequencies, and they got stuck operating in these hateful, manipulative frequencies, and then you just came in and was like, no, you get one more line and then I'm out of here on this one. I got the World here. Yeah, sure enough. What? The doors to the labyrinth. The doors to the labyrinth. Get the 8 of Pentacles here. You're definitely, somebody's trying to manifest their way through this labyrinth now. They've definitely gotten lost. They've definitely taken a lot of turns. They're definitely needing to find balance. We got this other door that they're facing now that they have to figure out how to get through. One of us always tells the truth. One of us always lies. I get that energy of like, they fell through the oubliette. Now they're at this other door here. Remember, that's the door that they went through that led to the party goblins. Followed by the 4 of Cups, overindulgence. Yeah, I'm picking up this person walked through the door of enlightenment and somehow got entrapped. And I get an echo chamber, right? I get that manosphere. I get that fucking bullshit energy, right? They've gotten trapped in this energy, right? And it's causing them... Oh, 44 here. Overindulgence, but they want union, right? That's the balance that they can't find. That's that temperance. Temperance is all about finding balance. Page of Poles. Yeah, I acted like an immature Page of Poles. An immature Page of Poles. What? We get the Moon. A lot of drug energy here. Right? That's the energy of somebody who was... Someone who was poisoned. Poisoned by a friend. I wasn't thinking right. I was being poisoned by a friend. I'm recognizing how I invited these people in. King of Junk. King of Pentacles takes responsibility for what he is in control of and what he has done, right? If something goes wrong in his house, it's not a matter of who to blame for it, it's just a matter of how to fix it. Would you like to come in and have some tea? Right, with me and the missus? Oh no. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm just a worm. This person's going through some humbling. Look, I got King of Junk followed by King of Feathers here, right? No, I'm just a worm. I think they're coming into this wisdom, right? And it could have been, like I said, running into you and you losing your shit, you pointing all this out, you saying, look, do you not see how sick this is? You know, they might have been stuck in a bubble, and a lot of people did get stuck in those bubbles. They were locked in their houses for 3 years. There's been a lot of weird shit going on. Governments have been using the internet and social media to manipulate people for at least a decade and a half now, and they've really perfected it with COVID and everything that's gone on, locking everybody in their house, and especially with the TT freaking apps, right? Drama, 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 drama. People are like, oh, they're going to track us with rice, and they're going to put a device in you to track. No, we voluntarily carry around our tracking devices everywhere with us. We don't even care. Y'all make TikToks all day long and just tell everybody what you're doing, showing them videos of your house, what you eat, how you live, where you go, what you drive. You tell everybody knows everything about America. They know exactly how to take us out. We've given them everything that they need to know. We got a Queen of Poles here. Queen of Poles here. Right, now you got the Queen of Wands. She got an Ace of Wands here. She's like, yeah. She goes, you want to know what I see? You want to know what I see? You want to know what I saw? I saw a dancing fucking chicken. I saw a dancing fucking chicken. And you know what? I went behind the stage, and I saw that dancing fucking chicken was nothing but a chicken dancing on a fucking stove under that stage. And I was able to see the party goblins back there turning the volume up and turning the volume down, turning the volume up and turning the volume down. It's like, what? Why don't you just jump off the stage? That's from the movie Pure Country. There's a scene where they're talking about Dusty's tired of performing. He's got his ex-wife is like his manager, and she just grinds the hell out of him on stage all the time. And he's talking to his friend, and he's just like, you remember the time that we went and saw the dancing chicken? He goes, I never understood why that chicken didn't just jump off the stage. And then later, they get into the rest of the movie. It's called Pure Country. If you're into romance films and you haven't seen it, definitely go see that one. It's definitely on my top 10 list. Got 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands here. There's distance and defensiveness in between these energies. Yeah, there's a major decision. Somebody has to make a decision. Someone has to make a decision. What? It's like, what? No, come to me. Oh, nights are about movement. I don't know how many times I've said this over the years, and it really is what it is. These dudes are in this energy of what? I just go for whoever comes towards me. I don't chase anymore because I'm so scared of rejection. And it's like, these divine feminines don't operate in that energy. You're like, what? No. It's like you want a female to act like a female, but then you want her to fucking chase you like she's a dude chasing pussy. What fucking sense does that make? No, females like to be made to feel like females. I get the energy of men need to be loved. Women need to be wanted. And if you don't make your woman feel wanted, yeah, she's going to go find someone else who makes you feel wanted. That's just how it is. You know, I mean, be mad at me for that for all you want. I mean, it could be as fucked up as you want to say it. Yeah, should you try to work it out with your relationship? Doesn't always work out that way. I'm just saying. Watch out. You got a petty energy of revenge around you for sure. There's definitely somebody. Like I said, if that chicken jumps off the stage, this bitch is going to lose her shit. Why? Because he thinks he's been playing her this whole time, but she's really been playing him. And the revenge is very quite simple. I definitely pick up an energy of like a toxic as fuck ex or baby mama that goes out of her way to make a male's life absolutely fucking miserable. And this dude could be so fucking stupid that he doesn't even realize that the reason they're never going to find anybody to date is because they allow these toxic ass bitches to cause so much drama in their lives that the only other females they are ever going to get to tolerate their lifestyle dealing with these bitches is another fucking toxic bitch. Because a divine feminine is not going to stay in an energy with toxic bitches all the time. She's going to get out of that situation. And if you can either go with her or stay in it, but she's not going to stay there. Well, be mad, choke me out if you want to, but this is not how it's going to go. Divine feminines are not going to hang out in a frequency that is not meant for them. What, I can't move forward because you got toxic ass fucking bitches around you just hammering you down all the time? We're never going to be able to build a life. I'm going to have to carry all your fucking burdens? Or I'm going to have to carry our whole lives because your whole life is carrying burdens for these bitches? No. Nope. Energy of revenge. The bitches are going to come after you too if you try to. But there's an energy here of stay vulnerable. Stay vulnerable. Why? Because that's the difference in your frequency over these bitches. These bitches are miserable, shady people who do not like themselves, and you like yourself, and you love yourself, and you better keep on liking yourself and loving yourself because you deserve better than anything that was in that fucking reading was being offered to you. If that is a genuine divine masculine, he will stand the fuck up and be the divine masculine he's meant to be, or he'll sit the fuck down so you can see the man that's standing behind him. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and whining paths with me. I love y'all so much. I'm back as soon as I can. I promise.